What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and today I'm covering WWE Monday Night Raw from July 29, 2024, live in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is the last Raw before SummerSlam, which is taking place tonight, uh, August 3rd, 2024. If you're listening in the future, that's okay. Keep listening anyways. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be covering this full episode of Raw, and we're starting out Raw with Seth freaking Rollins coming out to the ring. He is out here to lay down his rules as he is a special guest referee for the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match at SummerSlam. Seth says SummerSlam is not far away. We are here to lay out the rules and regulations for the match. CM Punk comes out, followed by Drew McIntyre. Rollins says, if you touch one another or me, you won't fight at SummerSlam. I didn't have to be the referee. I volunteered. If you want this fight, CM Punk, you got to get your ass in my ring, because at the time, CM Punk was outside of the ring. CM Punk calls Seth Rollins a bootlicking fanny. Drew says, you are a cancer. He's going to screw it up. That is the real enemy. Seth says, you are right. If there is anyone I hate, it's CM Punk. But I hate you too. There is If there's only one regulation at SummerSlam, you two will listen to everything I say. If you don't listen, I will beat you down in the dirt. CM Punk says, I don't believe you. If you screw me, I'll deal with it. I don't want your help. Drew McIntyre says, CM Punk, I hate you. I wasn't trying at the Royal Rumble to hurt you, CM Punk, and I tore your tricep. What do you think I will do to you on Saturday? This isn't a wrestling match. I won't stop until your heart does. Cleveland is a stadium. I'll get paid to do what I do for free. CM Punk says, for 10 years I was gone and they chanted my name. You're the third wheel at SummerSlam. The one positive thing about Punk derangement syndrome, you get to breathe the same air I do. The worst thing that happened in your career was hurting CM Punk. You're stupid. You're your own worst enemy. I got heart. I got the people chanting my name. What do you got? Drew then shows off the bracelet that he stole from CM Punk, and the two face off. This is a very good promo. I feel like CM Punk, Andrew both had good points in it. Seth Rollins was great because he was in the middle and he was making it seem like you weren't sure what he was going to do. But this is going to be a crazy match at SummerSlam. I'll give my predictions later on, but I'm looking forward to this one at SummerSlam. Good promo to start Raw. Next, we see that the Judgment Day's room has been destroyed. All of the wrestlers in the group's face is blacked out, but Finn Balor's. Finn Balor is the only one who is not blocked off, which is really weird because why would they destroy everyone but Finn? Rhea thinks Liv ruined it, and Rhea says, why is Carlito still in the group? She's confused. Next up, we have the Creed brothers with Chad Gable defeating Otis and Akira Tozawa with Maxine Dupree. Otis hits a caterpillar on Julius Creed, but then the Creed hits their finisher and get the 3 count. After the Creeds and Chad Gable attack until Maxine jumps on Chad's back, she slaps Chad Gable. Chad gets in Maxine's face, and then the Wyatt Six come out. They take off their masks, and it's Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Erick Rowan. They destroy the Creeds. After that, Sister Abigail dives onto Chad Gable. Uncle Howdy appears on the stage, and Chad Gable runs off. Crazy segment here. I was so happy to see them take off their masks. It was very cool to see that we're actually going to get some in-ring stuff between these guys, and we'll talk about that later on. Good segment here. Maxine looked amazing. Good action. Next up, Sheamus taking on Bronson Reed. Sheamus clotheslines Bronson to the floor, lands a running knee for a 2. Bronson hits a DVD for a 2 count. Sheamus lands a super white noise for a 2. Sheamus hits 16 beats to the Bowery, but then Pete Dunne shows up and hits Sheamus in the head with a shillelagh, and Bronson Reed hits a tsunami for a 3 count to get the victory here. Bronson Reed looks in great shape. Sheamus looks exactly the same as he did over 18 years ago. But what I will say is that this feud between Pete Dunne and Sheamus is just getting started. Pete Dunne continues to attack Sheamus. I like this heel version of Pete because he's a badass. We get a promo from Damian Priest talking about where he grew up, that he's Puerto Rican, he's proud of it, and he's the world champion. Looks really pumped for SummerSlam. We get a Bron Breakker promo saying that Sami Zayn is a comedian at SummerSlam. The joke is on you, and the title will be on me. Good promo there by Bron Breakker. Jey Uso takes on Carlito. He defeats Carlito after landing a flying splash. Good stuff there. Next up, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Sonya Deville attack Zelina backstage. Shayna Baszler kicks Zelina Vega's arm. Evil stuff here by the Studs. Next, The Miz announces that he will be hosting SummerSlam in his hometown of Cleveland. Good stuff. I'm excited to see The Miz and R-Truth do silly shit. Xavier Woods taking on Karrion Kross, the Final Testament. Kross gets the win after nailing his finisher, and Kross made fun of the fact that Kofi Kingston lost his title in like 6 seconds. We see a picture of Jesse the Body Ventura meeting with Triple H backstage. This is the first time Jesse Ventura has been back in WWE in a long, long time. Very exciting stuff here. Intercontinental champion Sami Zayn says he's going to beat Braun's ass at SummerSlam. And Sami defeats Dominik Mysterio by DQ after Carlito and JD McDonough attack Sami. After Jey Uso makes a save and lands a dive onto Judgment Day on the floor, Bron Breakker attacks Sami Zayn from behind, but Sami gets the advantage, landing a haluva kick and tosses Bron to the floor. I definitely think that Sami does have the advantage at SummerSlam, but I don't think he's going to be walking out champion. Next up, we get the videotape of Lumis. He has the X painted on his forehead. They talk about how he needs to be shown mercy, and he looks up at the camera, and Uncle Howdy says, "Run." Great stuff. Next, we hear from Rhea Ripley. Well, we hear from Liv Morgan. She basically talks about how she wants to get her revenge. She's mad that Dominik did to her, but she will get her revenge on Rhea. Rhea then says that SummerSlam she'll get her revenge on Liv, so they're both looking for vengeance. The Studs, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville defeat Lyra Valkyria, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance after a Z360. After the match, Damage Control return, and Io hits an over the moonsault to the Studs on the floor. Damage Control look great returning here. And the main event here, Gunther defeats Finn Balor after applying a sleeper, and Finn becomes unconscious. After Gunther continues to apply the sleeper until world champion Damian Priest comes out and attacks Gunther and sends him over the table. They brawl, and the referees separate them. And that is the end of this episode of Raw. A lot of good stuff here. It was great to see the Wyatt Six. It was good to see Damian Priest and Gunther brawl, the conversation between Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk. It definitely got me excited for SummerSlam. So with that, that was our recap of Raw. We'll be covering SmackDown and giving you our SummerSlam predictions. And then, of course, we'll be covering WWE SummerSlam. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.